TK Irish coming from the tundra of Camp Kennerk. Yes, we're down here in Texas and we got ice. We got snow. We have frigid air. It's a wind chill of about 1 degree. So everyone just sit down, relax, take it easy because I am sure where you are right now, it's just as cold and just as miserable. So we got a lot of fun things to talk about here, our Sunday podcast, and we're going to cover some really interesting aspects of sports. Well, how about that? So let's first of all give a shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers for their championship season, 16-0, and they did it the hard way. They were the losingest football team in the history of NCAA until they got a new coach, and now they're the winningest. So if that's not a big swing on how things work with the NIL and the transfer portal, I don't know what is. So well, I want to first of all is cover our Camp Kennerk football conference teams that finished up in the top 25 for the end of the season. We have 6 teams out of the 25. We have let me see here. Well, we have in the top 25. We have Texas Tech was number 4. We had Texas A&M came in 7th. Oklahoma 8th. Texas was 13th, and Houston was 21st. Well, now that's a great showing for the Camp Kennerk Conference. I'm proud of all the teams and all the sweat and they have to put in there to get ready to play those competitive games. But here's where I get really concerned about is now we have the top 25 preseason selection for going into the season of 2026. Now, I don't know how they come up with this. I mean, you got the portal, you got everything going on. No one knows where anybody's going to show up. But I thought, just out of curiosity, I wanted to see where the Camp Kennerk football conference teams would show up. So this is what we have. Number 1, the University of Texas Longhorns are the preseason selection. At number 6, we have Oklahoma. 7, Texas Tech. Number 8, Texas A&M. 16 is SMU, also known as Southern Methodist University. And 17 is Houston. So, in the grand scope of things, in 2025, the Camp Kennerk Conference teams, there are 5 that were in the top 25. And coming into the next season, as 26, we'll have 6 teams. So you can see this isn't a fluke. These are good, qualified teams that know how to play the game, love to play the game. But there's some crazy things going on out here. I wanted to share with you. The championship game had the largest viewing in quite a while. On that championship game, they had 33.2 million viewers watching at the first half. Now, to put that in perspective, all the playoff games, they averaged 16.3 viewers for the games. So that's really interesting. That shows that people really were tuned in. They wanted to see see if the Cinderella story could come out and go like everyone was hoping for. Of course, now there's conferences are talking about, well, we need to expand to the 16-team format or 24-team because, people are getting left out. Hey, quit the whining. Get the season going, get some teams to get that's competitive at the first of the season, and maybe you will be in there with the big boys. So that's that for that. But here's the thing that really gets me now, and I don't know why it didn't surprise me, but now the NCAA is allowing college football teams to have sponsorship patches on their jerseys. So you'll see companies sponsoring the different schools. Of course, the NCAA's got to they're in on the action. They're getting a payday on this because they are requiring that any team that sponsors, excuse me, any company that sponsors a team has to be a sponsor for the NCAA. So that's what's going on there. And it's just, one thing after another. So, Douglas, what do you think about all this?
TK, so good to see you on this morning of January the 25th. And this is our 50th podcast. We have done this since August, and this is number 50. And this is a beautiful, beautiful day. Kinda here in awesome Austin, Texas. I sent you maybe we got a video of the snow outside of my place and the temperature. So it's kind of cold here in awesome Austin, Texas. TK, awesome Austin, Texas for our 50th Camp Kennerk podcast, our 50th. And this is what awesome Austin, Texas looks like. Absolutely amazing. I don't think we've had snow since from maybe 3-4 years, the last time we had snow apocalypse. But woke up this morning to this. But you brought up a very good point about the ending of the college football season, the Camp Kennerk season, football league. Yes, Indiana went 16-0, and it was a beautiful, beautiful game. I was one of those 32.1 million people watching, and I was riveted. But in our previous podcast, our previous sports podcast, I made a disastrous mistake, and I wish to truly apologize because I anointed a certain player as the MVP. Now, the actual MVP was Fernando Mendoza, of the quarterback of Indiana. And then I said, well, the Camp Kennerk podcast MVP should be a player who was Charlie Becker, who was the wide receiver. I made a serious mistake, not to slight Charlie Becker. He is a great player, but in my opinion, the Camp Kennerk podcast MVP is Jamari Sharp. And he is the cornerback who made that final interception for the game because the Miami wide receiver was wide open, and that would have that would have made Miami win the game. But Jamari Sharp scooted in there, got the interception, sealed the game, sealed the season, and sealed the legacy of Indiana Hoosiers. So my MVP corrected is Jamari Sharp. And I apologize to everyone. Just I didn't do enough homework. That's my problem. I need to do just like my dad said, do your homework.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much one of the first things you learn when you're a parent are certain simple phrases like put that down or do your homework or talk to your mother, see what she says. So
Mhm.
those are just come right in. They just pop in your head like they were there all your entire life. But they really show up when you have kids.
And I promise, as our 50th podcast, starting the 26th season, our second season in 2026, to do more research on certain things. We have a couple of opinions that we've expressed in the first 50 podcasts. And I promise to do more research so that we're dedicated and to be funnier. We be funny.
Well, Douglas, I don't know if you could ever be too funny. I mean, I never heard somebody say, well, I don't want to watch Camp Kennerk podcast because they're just too funny. I miss everything because I'm laughing so hard. So if
Absolutely.
that's the case, this is what you do. See that little button that says pause? But when you start laughing so hard and you can't hear and the snot's running out of your nose, hit pause, get your composure back, and then click it back on to catch the next joke.
Absolutely true. Now, do you have your coffee there, TK? I got my coffee right here.
I
It's a
got my
nice
Aldi
cold.
special.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm, on a
Okay.
cold day like
It's
this.
it's cold out there, and I've got Jojo Bear right here, and Dash the dog is over here. So we are snuggled, bunnied up here in awesome Austin, Texas. And let's continue on with the show.
Well, Douglas, before we talk about how cold it is, you know Dot, the mascot here, Camp
Yes,
Kennerk. Well,
Dash's girlfriend.
yeah, yeah. Well, I looked outside this morning and she was frozen to a fire hydrant.
That's funny. She's going to be there till spring, the way it looks.
Yeah, yeah. I said, "Hey, boys, look at this. We don't have to feed her for a couple days."
Yes, yes, yes. Well, the beautiful thing about what you mentioned concerning the college standings and the Camp Kennerk Football League, reminiscent of the old Southwest Conference, that's beautiful, but it's still 8 months away because we have the transfer portal and we also have what I don't know what the transfer portal for the players. What do we call it for the coaches? I mean, we've got
That's called U-Haul.
you coaches U-Haul. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Coaches
yeah,
U-Haul.
yeah. And so, honey, we're moving.
We're moving. Yeah. So, those predictions are always nice. They're great to read, and you feel good because your team's represented. And then you argue because, Texas is 13th. Oh, come on. We're better. The whole aspect of what do they call it? Clickbait or something like that, the bait to get you going, that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But it's in my world, the DTN world, it's more a situation. The college football conference is over. The championship is over. It's a legendary team, a legendary season. It's over. And now we have to move on. It's closed the books, and we have a good week of a celebration, having good fun time with, but it's over and moving on. That's all. That's my thoughts. Now, for the today is January 25th is the AFC in the pro leagues, the AFC championships and the NFC championships. Now, I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboy hat and I got my Cowboy shirt on. I am a big Cowboy fan. But sadly, the Cowboys are sitting at home in their fuzzy socks and with their cuddle bear because it's cold and they're not playing. But today at 2 p.m. awesome Austin time, we've got the Patriots playing Denver at 2 p.m. and they're on CBS. And
And
then
you
we've got
think, Douglas, we're down here crybabying about the cold weather and the snow. Those guys are in the real cold weather. Now
absolute true.
are they playing the Patriots at home? Or,
No, in Denver.
well,
In Denver.
geez, Mile High City. Woo!
Absolutely true. And the Denver quarterback Bo Nix broke his ankle, so they've got I don't know who it's going to be. I truly don't know. I can't figure it out. Stedman or Steedman or something like that. So when the opening kickoff is, we'll find out who the quarterback for Denver is. And then at 5:30, we've got the Rams at Seattle, and that's on Fox. So today, the college football season's over. Now we've got the NFL, we've got the two big games, and then in a couple of weeks, we're going to have the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl. So that's great.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that we got two games. That gives you plenty of time to clean your closet, get your everything in line in the house because being iced in, you don't have any more excuses of
Absolutely true. It's early spring cleaning, and I've been eyeballing a couple of places around here, shelves that need some dusting. You know, Uh, some of that stuff goes back to the pyramids, the last time it was cleaned, So we have that sort of stuff to do around the house. And I got my long johns on for a short walk to go help a neighbor. Doug, the neighbor, helps his neighbors while they're out of town, that sort of stuff. So it's a beautiful day. Here we are on our 50th. And I'd like to recap with you the things that have happened and what we have done for our 50th Camp Kennerk podcast. Let me start. Go ahead. Oh, you were going to say something?
No, Douglas, I don't want to interrupt you because I know this is very, very important to you and it's prevalent to all of our listeners out in the galaxy. So fire away.
Okay. Now, we started in August. We've been chatting back and forth as friends. TK, maybe we should do a podcast. You were on my radio podcast that's on Spotify. Doug the neighbor interviews his neighbors, and very kind to that. And then you came down to Austin for the Top of Possum Trot Flipper Walk. And that's when we had a little chat and kind of formulated some ideas. But our first podcast was at the end of August, and we figured out a format, and here we are, and we've done 50 more. We usually do a show on Wednesday nights, and of course, our Sunday morning sports show like now. So and it's been beautiful. And in that meantime, we had a problem with our jingle music for our logo. And English Dave, our music guy, he fixed it all up so that we weren't in copyright violation. So we did that. We improved that. And then we looked at our logo, and you were very brilliantly came up with our logo, our new logo with the popcorn in the background, which is our main theme because we both like popcorn. So beautiful, beautiful thing that you have done there. And uh, and the improvements on our and on our podcast. These are the improvements that we have done, and it's because of people have rallied to us. You and Kevin, the computer, our magnificent computer dude, have improved our game. Anytime you work at something, you'll only get better. That's the thing that we'll just work at it. It gets better, and we have improved. We've got new music, no copyright problems. We've got a new logo that looks really sharp, and here we are doing our 50th. And also, we came up with the idea that the Camp Kennerk podcast would interview people, which we call happy campers. We call them happy campers.
Yes, we do. And I got to tell you that have more fun. That's the highlight of any of our podcasts when we have these happy campers coming in because they come from such diversified backgrounds. Their stories are always entertaining and interesting. And so, yeah, I'm really happy that we have more people lined up for that because I know all our listeners in the galaxy just really get excited when they get to see them.
Absolutely true, TK. The people that we have interviewed, the happy campers, do come from a diversified background. And I would like to chat about these 9 people that we have done. And we could go down memory lane talking about this. Now, the first one was Kevin, your son, who handles our he's our magnificent computer dude, and great story about him going into the Marines, serving our country. Now back here, getting using he's using the GI Bill to uh, up his computer skills. Correct, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He's in networking. That's the only word I understand when he tries to explain to me what he's studying. I hear all these words that have no meaning, but then I hear networking. So I go,
And I go,
oh,
oh.
okay, I got it. I got it, buddy. I know exactly what you're talking about. He rolls his eyes.
Well, you and I come from the word networking. That means going over to the pub.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to the pub. I'm going to the pub. So then we had your son Kyle. who did a podcast with us, and he's having his great adventures at different places where he has worked. That's fantastic. That was fantastic. You know, and how a young man is carving his life and looking at different things. It's not always just you're on one path. You know, you do different things, and that's just beautiful. And his story. And then we had Nishi. You remember Nishi?
Oh
Uh,
yes, lovely girl.
lo-
Yeah,
Lovely girl. Going to school out there at what's that school in Huntsville?
Sam Houston State.
Sam Houston State, and
Yeah,
very admirable of her finishing uh, high school, getting a cosmetology degree, going to Sam Houston State, and wanting her own makeup line. I mean, when she kept talking, I go, "Who is this gal? Who is this gal?" You know, and only wish her the best.
yeah.
You know. So that was beautiful. And then we did Indiana John. Remember Indiana John?
How could I forget? He and I went to the Notre Dame USC football game the previous night.
Yes. And it showed. So he had a great story and was very, very funny. And then we did Odie, my friend
Yes,
Odie here in
the Taco Man.
the taco man, yeah, he's a taco cat. We call him the taco cat. He knows all
Okay.
about taco. He knows, cooks taco. He has his own cooking show
Mhm.
on the social media, and then we did Brian, my neighbor that lives over here. He's the Indiana. He went to Indiana, and he was a biker, bicyclist, a bike
Cyclist. Cyclist.
cyclist. Yeah, there you go. On the bike rides that they do up there in Indiana.
Yeah, they have we call a little 500. It's a bicycle race that's held on campus just for the students. And
Right,
it's a
right,
very, very big deal. People train for that all year round for the bragging rights of uh, being the winner.
right. And didn't they make a movie about that called Breaking Away or something like that?
Yes, yes, they
Yeah,
did. So
yeah, yeah. So Brian, my neighbor, your Indiana pal, he was very kind to do a podcast with, and he was very funny about how he got into his world from Indiana down here to Austin, and a very lovely man. Just really enjoyed him. And then we did an happy camper interview with Robbie D. You remember Robbie,
boy,
the
I tell
lawyer
you,
in New York City?
yes, I do. Very, very interesting lady. I could just sit there and visit with her for hours because she has such a good life and she does such good things out there.
Yes, teaching photography at the Indian reservations in South Dakota, someplace, North
Yeah.
Dakota, Fargo, wherever Fargo is, out there, someplace. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we did your brother, Steve Kennerk, Steve
Yes. Wyoming Steve, the mountain
Wyoming
man.
Steve. And he was very kind to send me a little gift, and I certainly appreciate it. And he was very, very funny. And then, of course, we can't we must mention your niece, Teresa Flores.
Yes, thank you so much. She is presently working her way to the Super Bowl in California, and there in Northern California to set up her SOAP program to help prevent sex trafficking for kids. So
Right.
she has an army of hundreds and hundreds of people out there getting ready to take the mountain to Moses and
Yes.
battle that nasty thing.
Battle at, and she's doing good work, the good Lord's work. And this represents nine people of, like you said, diverse backgrounds who have come to be a happy camper. And we have a few more that are very interested in doing this, that and exposing their and showing off, not exposing and showing off may be the wrong words, but uh, promoting their life and what they're doing. These are good, solid citizens, fair and decent people, and how they are trying to make our life better.
Yes, very good role models in so many different avenues.
Yes, yes, and very happy to bring their story to light and seeing their funny moments with their great stories and very happy to do it. So, 50 podcasts, TK. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this and spreading the joy to the world, to the galaxy, because we be funny. That's all I got today, TK. Go Cowboys.
Douglas, Aaron go brawl.